In the bright, crisp morning, the grand auction hall opened its vast doors to a lively crowd, promising a day full of adventure and unexpected surprises. At the center of the bustling crowd, a fragile limping horse was gently led forward by an old man with kind eyes and a soft, caring smile. The horse, whose step was slow and halting due to its injured leg, carried a quiet dignity that spoke of many long and tough journeys. Many auctioneers and eager buyers exchanged low voices and curious glances as they noted the animal's tired eyes and slight, uneven gait. In their minds, the many onlookers believed that a horse with a limp would never belong among the prized animals known for their strength and speed. Because of this common belief, the respected auction hall decided at once to reject the limping horse from being part of its celebrated collection. The decision was announced loudly, with clear gestures and firm words that echoed throughout every corner of the big open hall. Yet the limping horse stayed still and proud, its head held high as if it knew deep inside that its heart held hidden promise and worth. Among the curious onlookers was a thoughtful teenager whose bright eyes shone with determination and a spark of new ideas about fairness. This brave young person had come to the auction hall with dreams of making a difference and proving that every creature deserved respect and care. As the gentle animal was led near the exit, the teen felt a strong, stirring pull in his heart that urged him to act and to help. Nearby, his friends and fellow teenagers whispered softly in surprise when they saw him step forward without any signs of fear or hesitation. In that quiet moment, the usual clamor of the large crowd faded into a focused silence as the teen confidently moved toward the stage. People in the hall began to wonder and exchange curious looks, asking silently why a young person would care about an animal rejected by others. He cared for the horse because he firmly believed that every living creature, no matter how weak it seemed, could be a true hero with enough love. His gentle yet clear voice reached the great auctioneer, causing even the busiest members of the crowd to pause and listen for his words. With steady confidence and a calm expression, the teen spoke about the horse's hidden strengths and its potential to change someone's life. Each word was simple and honest, and the clear message made everyone in the hall stop and listen with unexpected and growing interest. He pointed out the horse's kind eyes, its soft and patient nature, and the strong spirit it showed despite the burden of its limp. The seasoned auctioneer, who usually trusted the opinion of the large crowd, looked at the teen with surprise and growing curiosity. Soon, a soft but powerful mix of hope, tension, and excitement began to fill the enormous space of the ancient auction hall. Every sentence that the young bidder spoke carried promise and warmth, slowly turning the stern atmosphere into one of gentle hope. He explained that sometimes difficult challenges can make an animal grow stronger and overcome obstacles with a brave heart. Every ear in the crowded hall perked up as they listened carefully, touched by the honest and strong emotion in the teen's plea. Even the strict and experienced auctioneer could not ignore the clear signs of courage shown by the enthusiastic and kind young boy. With his hand raised in a calm and firm manner, the teen took his rightful place among those who had come to bid with power and passion. A sudden respectful silence fell over the listening crowd as everyone waited eagerly to hear another important word from the young bidder. The sound of his measured voice was soft but full of strength and truth, reaching deep into the hearts of all those present. He told the heartfelt story of the limping horse in such simple language that even the youngest child in the hall could understand it well. His narrative spoke clearly of hard times, quiet resilience, and the promise that every creature, no matter how flawed, deserve a chance. The teenager described the humble horse as a bright symbol of hope, showing that courage often comes in the form of quiet perseverance. He believed strongly that true beauty lies not in perfection, but in the steady effort and strength found even in the most troubled lives. In that remarkable moment, the hall was filled with a powerful sense of wonder, as if the auction hall itself came alive with new meaning. Many people in the room recognized bits of their own struggles in the story of the overlooked horse and felt moved by its silent promise. A fresh and gentle spirit of change filled the space as more voices began to admire the determination shown by the small, brave figure. The teen's kind tone and sincere words reminded everyone that a single act of care and courage can spark change in the darkest hour. Some in the crowd started to speak softly among themselves, suggesting that perhaps they too could offer the horse a second chance at life. The determination and bravery of the young bidder lit a warm glow of possibility that brightened every shadowy corner of the room. Slowly, the whole room began to feel the hope and shared dream that sometimes unexpected chances can change a life for the better. In the very last word of his brave and simple speech, the teenager declared that even the humblest bid could change the destiny of a living soul. After the teenager's bold plea, the auctioneer hesitated and looked at the young bidder with a mixture of surprise and respect. The lively crowd, once dismissive of the limping horse, now shifted their focus, wondering what would come next. Whispers filled the air as people exchanged glances, their previous judgment giving way to curiosity and gentle hope. The auctioneer cleared his throat and announced that the bid for the once-rejected horse would be put up for discussion. A ripple of excitement moved through the listeners as they sensed the beginning of an unexpected change. The teenager stood steadily at the center of the hall, his eyes gleaming with determination and sincere care. His simple yet strong voice began to weave a new story of second chances, urging everyone to see the hidden strength of a horse. The animal, still standing with quiet dignity, seemed to listen, its soft eyes reflecting a mix of hope and determination. The hall, which had echoed with rejection earlier, now buzzed with an energy of fresh possibilities and renewed faith. A few brave buyers started clapping softly, encouraging the teenager and the hopeful spirit that had filled the room. The auctioneer, visibly moved, admitted that he had never seen such a heartfelt display from someone so young. This moment, filled with simple truth and raw emotion, made everyone forget their past prejudices for a brief, shining moment. The teenager's words painted a picture of hope and resilience that even the hardest heart could not ignore. One by one, the onlookers began to share their own small stories about overcoming challenges in their lives. Their stories, though simple in nature, built a quiet bridge of empathy from one person to another. The limping horse, once an object of pity, was now a symbol of the beauty that lies in every living being. The hall's atmosphere transformed as the crowd realized that every creature holds a special spark of life. Even the old auctioneer, who was known for his strict rules, felt his heart softened by the genuine emotion in the room. A soft murmur of agreement spread as more people started nodding and listening with open hearts. The teenager, with careful words and a clear message, explained how the horse had survived storms and hardship. His honest narrative turned away from the horse's flaws and emphasized its spirit and endurance. Each sentence was crafted to show that kindness and belief can transform even the most difficult situations. The simple language he used made sure that everyone, including the youngest children, could grasp his message clearly. The energy in the room grew brighter as hope replaced judgment and replaced fear with acceptance. Even the silent corners of the hall began to whisper with newfound dreams and the promise of redemption. The auctioneer, deeply touched by this change, told the crowd that the horse might yet be given a fair chance. With each word, the teenager inspired others to reassess their beliefs about value and strength. Many spectators realized that sometimes what appears weak at first glance is filled with unseen courage. The bird-like flutter of hearts and minds echoed the simple truth that every being deserves a second chance. In that unfolding moment, the rejected horse was no longer seen as a burden, but as a brave survivor. The sound of clapping grew louder as more people voiced their support for the young bidder's remarkable idea. The hall was filled with light, both from the natural morning sun and the warmth of open, compassionate hearts. The teenager's clear, honest words encouraged others to believe in the beauty of new beginnings. In every face, one could see the spark of empathy as lessons of kindness filled the vast room. The auctioneer, feeling the shift in spirit, decided that the horse's fate could be rewritten that very day. His decision sparked a new chain of events that promised to change the lives of the horse and everyone present. Slowly but surely, the crowd started to discuss how they could support the horse in a meaningful and lasting way. Each person contributed a suggestion to help care for the animal, symbolizing a united stand against injustice. The lively conversation and shared commitment marked a turning point in the auction hall's long-standing traditions. With a final, heartfelt nod, the auctioneer set the stage for a bid that would soon transform rejection into celebration. The auction hall was filled with an electric energy as every heart waited to see what would happen next. The limping horse stood quietly at the center, its eyes calm but filled with a deep, hidden strength. The young bidder's bold actions had turned the mood of the room into one of shared hope and wonder. Every person present listened in silence as the auctioneer announced that the bidding would now focus on the horse. The soft sound of a paddle tapping gently on a wooden block echoed through the hall. One by one, people raised their paddles with hesitant optimism, each bid a tribute to new beginnings. The teenager, whose brave plea had sparked the change, watched with careful eyes as bids increased slowly. In that moment, the auction hall became a stage where past judgments were replaced with faith and second chances. The horse's gentle gaze seemed to say that even a body that limped could carry a strong spirit. The sound of murmured encouragement filled the space as each bid was recorded with clear determination. The crowd, once full of dismissive whispers, now spoke kindly about the value of every living soul. A soft smile played on the face of the auctioneer as he carefully noted each bid with respectful attention. The atmosphere was simple, yet heavy with the promise that everyone could learn from the horse's quiet resilience. With every new paddle tap, the energy in the room grew, and hearts began to beat in gentle unison. The humble creature became a symbol of hope for all who had ever felt unwanted or overlooked. One elderly gentleman, his voice steady and kind, added his bid with great care and a hopeful tone. The teenager listened intently, his eyes shining with pride and a belief that every life had worth. Even children in the crowd looked on in amazement at the unfolding scene of kindness and change. The horse stepped forward slowly, as if to accept the new life that was being promised with each bid. A sudden quiet fell over the hall as the bidding reached a point of warm anticipation and unity. The auctioneer's steady hands held a paddle as he prepared to announce the highest bid with clear diction. The simple language of the bidding, easy enough for everyone to understand, made the scene feel honest and true. Each bidder expressed, through a tap or nod, their understanding that beauty lies in strength despite imperfections. The space was filled with light reflections that danced over the polished floor, mirroring the warmth in the room. Every sound in the hall, from the soft tapping to the murmurs of approval, wrote a quiet melody of hope. The horse, once rejected and overlooked, now had an audience that valued every slow step it took. The teenage bidder's eyes darted around, noticing that even the most skeptical faces now softened in support. A gentle wind seemed to whisper through the open doors of the grand hall, as if nature joined in the hope. The simple bidding process became a lesson in acceptance and the power of believing in unlikely heroes. One paddle tap after another created a quiet rhythm that celebrated courage and fairness in each moment. The auctioneer spoke with calm clarity, emphasizing that every life could shine if given a proper chance. In that grand space, the spirit of the limping horse began to transform doubts into a shared story of redemption. The room vibrated with the sound of quiet determination and the soft clapping of supportive hands. Every heartbeat of the crowd echoed the message that rejection could be overcome through compassion. The teenager, standing firmly among those who had once doubted, felt his courage become a beacon of change. His unwavering belief in the horse's value reminded everyone that even small acts of kindness could spark big change. The gentle creature lifted its head as if to signal that it was ready for the challenges and joys ahead. The bidding now felt like a silent promise, a contract of care written in the language of empathy and respect. In that moment, the auction hall transformed into a place where every soul, no matter how battered, was treasured. With the final bid registered, the hall filled with a quiet, powerful smile, and all understood that new beginnings were born today. The auctioneer announced that the bidding had ended and declared the teenager the highest bidder. A hush fell over the room as everyone absorbed the news with wide eyes and open hearts. The young bidder felt excitement and a quiet pride rising inside him as he held the winning papers. The limping horse stood calmly, its eyes filled with trust as if it knew a better future was near. With a gentle nod, the auctioneer handed over the official document that made the horse the teen's new friend. The teenager accepted the papers with a steady hand, even though his heart beat fast with nervous joy. All around the hall, people exchanged surprised smiles at the turn of events. Cheers and soft claps filled the space, replacing the earlier mood of rejection with one of hope. Many onlookers saw that this moment was not just an auction but a real act of kindness. The teenager stepped forward with determination as the crowd watched his every move. The limping horse, standing near him, looked as if it was ready to start a new and happy life. Supporters in the audience started murmuring encouraging words that celebrated second chances. Simple voices repeated that every living creature deserved a chance to shine. The large room, which once held disappointment, now radiated warmth and new possibilities. Even those who had once dismissed the horse began to see it in a gentle, fresh light. Whispered discussions grew into a feeling that every heart present was part of kind change. The auctioneer, smiling warmly, made it clear that the day's event was about more than money. He explained that this sale was a testament to the strength found in caring for others. The act of bidding for the horse was described as a small but brave step towards a kinder world. The teenager listened intently, understanding that his simple action had a deep meaning. His earlier words about fairness and hope had grown into a powerful moment of change. Everyone remembered how the limping horse had once been shunned, and now it stood as a symbol of resilience. Families whispered among themselves, sharing how a kind act could transform lives. The simple truth was clear: every creature has value, no matter what it looks like on the outside. As the day went on, the entire community felt the warmth of this unexpected celebration. The auction hall was now a place where kindness took center stage and rules were gently rewritten. With a kind smile, the teenager shared his plans to care for the horse in clear, simple words. He talked about training the horse and helping it heal its hurt leg with care and patience. His dream was that one day the horse might run free again and bring joy to everyone it met. The community listened closely, imagining a future filled with hope and gentle strength. In that moment, the hall became a classroom of life, teaching that every life is precious. The auctioneer said that sometimes a brave heart can show others a new way to see the world. Soft claps and murmurs of agreement filled the ancient hall, echoing like a chorus of hope. Many people left the hall with a smile, their hearts warmed by the story of change. The teenager's simple choice had rewritten old beliefs about worth and beauty. His act of kindness planted a seed of change that would grow in everyone's memories. The limping horse moved slowly toward him, as if accepting its new journey with quiet grace. In that gentle moment, a strong promise was made that care and hope would always win over rejection. Every person in the hall felt that they had witnessed a turning point in a long-forgotten story. As the crowd slowly dispersed, the new owner and his horse left together, ready to begin their bright and hopeful journey. The new owner and his brave horse rode steadily along the winding, sunlit country road, leaving the grand auction hall behind as they embarked on a journey filled with hope and promise. Beneath a sky brushed with soft hues of early morning, the pair traveled through vast fields where dewy grass and wildflowers whispered secrets of nature's gentle resilience. Their path, bordered by ancient oak trees and vibrant meadows, carried them past sleepy villages that awoke slowly to the sound of hoofbeats and whispered greetings. In every step, the horse's measured gait, once marred by a painful limp, began to transform into a rhythmic dance that spoke of healing and newfound strength. The teenage rider, his heart full of determination and kindness, held the reins with steady resolve as he recalled the kindness that had given them this precious second chance. Each mile they crossed seemed to erase the shadows of past rejection, replacing them with the warm glow of a future where every living being was honored. As the duo moved forward, the soft murmur of the wind through the tall grasses merged with the distant laughter of children playing in sun-dappled village squares. The quiet countryside, rich with the scent of earth and blooming petals, served as a gentle reminder that even the most wounded can regain strength with compassion and care. The horse's eyes, deep and soulful, mirrored the resilience of nature itself, reflecting a spirit that had learned to rise above hardship and embrace life's beauty. In the quiet moments between gentle gallops, the teenager softly spoke to his companion, using simple words that carried boundless dreams and honest belief. With every turn of the road, they discovered hidden streams where water danced over smooth stones, symbolizing the constant flow of life and renewal. The landscape unfolded before them like a vast canvas painted with soft greens and earthy browns, inviting both rider and horse to explore its many untold stories. Villagers they passed paused to exchange kind smiles and nods, silently acknowledging the transformative power of carrying actions and second chances. The journey not only healed the wounded leg of the noble horse, but also mended the tender heart of a young man determined to change old ways. As the day advanced, golden sunlight filtered through leaves overhead, creating fleeting patterns of light that danced over the back of the ever-faithful animal. Along the winding roads, occasional stops were made at humble roadside inns where locals offered warm meals and shared stories of resilience and hope. In these brief moments of rest, the team listened intently to elders recounting tales of overcoming adversity, which only deepened his resolve to care for his new friend. Every shared word and smile with strangers enriched their travel, each encounter reinforcing the belief that kindness can transform even the darkest pasts. The rhythmic sound of the horse's hoofbeats created a soothing cadence that echoed through quiet valleys and over gentle hills, marking a steady march toward a brighter tomorrow. With the landscape shifting from open fields to quiet woodlands, nature's orchestra of rustling leaves and chirping birds provided a calming backdrop to their steadfast journey. The teenager's eyes sparkled with youthful optimism as he envisioned a future where the horse, once deemed unworthy, would flourish under unwavering care. Every new vista offered gentle lessons in patience and perseverance, teaching that time, when nurtured by love, can heal even the deepest wounds. The air was filled with the soft scent of lavender and wild mint, reminders that nature itself celebrated the rebirth of forgotten dreams. In the midst of this serene voyage, the boy recalled the harsh words and cold glances of the past, now replaced by the silent symphony of hope around him. The horse, responding to the tender care it received, began to walk with a slightly firmer step, as if each careful pace built a bridge toward recovery. Alongside patchwork fields and sparkling streams, the duo encountered gentle thunderstorms that washed away remnants of old sorrow and ushered in renewed energy. At dusk, as the sky blended vibrant shades of orange and purple, the journey transformed into a quiet celebration of life's endless possibilities and gentle miracles. Under the soft glow of twilight, the young rider and his loyal companion found shelter in a modest barn, where the simple comfort of warmth reawakened dormant dreams. Inside the rustic barn, the sound of their quiet breathing and the soft patter of rain outside provided a peaceful symphony that soothed both body and soul. The boy carefully tended to the horse, cleaning its wounds with gentle hands and whispering promises of better days to come with clear, heartfelt words. Every tender act of care during that calm night reinforced the unspoken bond that had quickly grown between the compassionate teen and his resilient friend. As stars began to twinkle in the deepening sky, the duo rested quietly, each lost in thoughts of past hardships and bright hopes for the future. The rhythm of the raindrops mingled with the soft snores of the horse, creating a lullaby that carried dreams of recovery and silent victories through the night. In the comforting darkness of the barn, the young man planned for the coming day, imagining new adventures that awaited beyond the horizon. The promise of sunrise brought renewed determination, as if nature itself conspired to offer them strength and courage with the breaking of each new dawn. When the first light touched the earth, the barn doors opened to reveal a world sparkling with dew, inviting them to resume their journey with gentle enthusiasm. Together, they emerged into the crisp morning air, ready to embrace a day filled with hopeful challenges and quiet moments of triumph over past struggles. Every step forward was a testament to the power of perseverance and the belief that every soul, no matter how wounded, could rise like the morning sun. The road ahead, though uncertain and peppered with subtle obstacles, shone with the promise that caring hearts and enduring spirits could overcome any adversity. With hearts full of gratitude and eyes set in a future of endless possibility, the young rider and his cherished horse rode on, leaving behind old pain and welcoming a new day of life and hope. The young rider and his loyal horse arrived at a new home on the edge of a friendly town. It was a place filled with warmth and the promise of a fresh start. The town had kind people who welcomed them with open arms. The story of the auction hall and the brave bid had spread far and wide. Every person in town soon learned about the courageous teen and his special friend. They were celebrated as symbols of hope and the power of second chances. The community organized a grand celebration in the town square to honor them. Colorful banners and simple decorations turned the square into a display of kindness. Neighbors gathered to listen to the remarkable journey of the limping horse. They learned that sometimes what seems weak can hide a powerful heart. The townspeople shared their own stories of struggle and overcoming hardships. Each story reminded everyone that every person deserves compassion and care. The young rider stood proudly and spoke with clear, simple words about his adventure. He explained that love and understanding could heal even the deepest wounds. The horse softly nuzzled him, as if to say that it, too, felt the change. The festive day turned into a celebration of unity and mutual respect. Young and old cheered and clapped together in the bright town square. Their hearts were filled with a shared hope for better, kinder days ahead. The shining sun added a warm glow to the jubilant atmosphere. Gentle music played as families and friends enjoyed the peaceful gathering. Children laughed and played near the crowd, inspired by the story of hope. They learned that even small acts of kindness could lead to big changes. A soft breeze carried the sound of joyful chatter all around the square. Neighbors offered warm drinks and tasty treats to one another with sincere smiles. The young rider listened to every kind word, feeling deeply grateful. The horse stood tall and proud, no longer burdened by its old reputation. Every careful step the horse took radiated a newfound confidence and strength. The whole community realized that the value of a life is measured by its spirit. They saw that true strength comes from within and from caring for one another. Every setback could become a stepping stone when met with love and determination. Simple acts of care had transformed not only a horse but the hearts of many. The inspiring ride of the young man and his horse motivated other youths in town. They learned that being kind and brave can change lives in unexpected ways. Local teachers soon shared the story in schools, making it a lesson in courage. Artists painted portraits that captured the beauty of the rider's journey. The local newspaper featured a thoughtful article about the power of second chances. The tale of the rejected horse-turned-beloved friend was remembered for generations. People began to look at every creature with gentle, loving eyes. A spark of joy was kindled in every heart, lighting the way for new beginnings. And so the young rider and his brave horse lived happily, sharing love and kindness wherever they went. At last, the story of the auction hall event reached its peaceful conclusion in a way that touched every heart. The young rider and his faithful horse had become symbols of hope throughout the small, caring town. Their journey, which started with rejection and ended with acceptance, taught everyone the value of kindness. Neighbors still recalled that fateful day when the auctioneer reversed his decision and gave the horse a second chance. In the classrooms of local schools, teachers shared the story as a shining example of courage and compassion. Children learned that no one should be judged only by what they seem to be on the outside. With every steady step, the brave horse proved that true strength comes from within. The teenager, now admired as a kind leader, continued to care for every living thing with an open heart. In the weeks that followed, the entire town began to treat every creature with gentle respect and care. People soon discovered that even small acts of kindness can mend a wounded spirit. Many residents organized little gatherings where they shared and celebrated stories of hope and redemption. At these events, warm words and smiles were exchanged as everyone remembered that day of change. The sound of music and laughter filled the air during celebrations that retold the powerful tale. Even the town's oldest citizens joined in, finding comfort in the reminder that every moment can be a fresh start. The local library proudly added a book about the journey to ensure that future generations would learn the lesson. A colorful mural was painted on the town hall wall, showing the auction hall, the limping horse, and the brave teen. The bright colors of the mural reminded everyone of the beauty that can be found in every struggle. Inspired by the story, community leaders started new programs to help care for injured animals. Volunteers soon visited local shelters to offer support, spreading acts of kindness throughout the region. What was once a memory of rejection at an auction hall had been transformed into a heartwarming tale of renewal. Every person came to see that compassion had the power to heal even the deepest wounds. The town decided to hold an annual celebration to honor all acts of bravery and care. At the celebration, the young rider often spoke about the day he chose to stand for what was right. His clear, simple words encouraged others to follow his example and support those in need. Listeners were deeply moved by the honest and hopeful messages in his speeches. The community gradually changed, guided by the simple truth that every life is valuable. Even neighboring towns began to adopt similar practices after hearing about their shining example. Local animal shelters experienced an outpouring of care and support, motivated by the legacy of that day. Town officials introduced new rules designed to protect every creature and ensure fair treatment for all. Each policy was made with the spirit of compassion at its very core. Residents celebrated every small victory that reminded them of that unforgettable auction day. Every act of care echoed the lasting message that each life matters and deserves respect. The harsh memories of past judgments faded away, replaced by the warmth of a united, kind community. The tale of the rejected horse became a guide for future actions and a beacon of hope in troubled times. Parents told their children that no one should ever be left behind or forgotten. Community gatherings turned into spaces where differences were celebrated and everyone supported one another. The town's atmosphere was always filled with gentle smiles, quiet acts of kindness, and thankful hearts. Each day brought a fresh opportunity to live by the lessons learned on that transformative day. Over time, the legacy of hope and the power of second chances continued to grow stronger in every heart. In the end, the story of the rejected horse and the determined teenager proved that love and compassion can change the world. At last, the story of the auction hall event reached its peaceful conclusion in a way that touched every heart. The young rider and his faithful horse had become symbols of hope throughout the small, caring town. Their journey, which started with rejection and ended with acceptance, taught everyone the value of kindness. Neighbors still recalled that fateful day when the auctioneer reversed his decision and gave the horse a second chance. In the classrooms of local schools, teachers shared the story as a shining example of courage and compassion. Children learned that no one should be judged only by what they seem to be on the outside. With every steady step, the brave horse proved that true strength comes from within. The teenager, now admired as a kind leader, continued to care for every living thing with an open heart. In the weeks that followed, the entire town began to treat every creature with gentle respect and care. People soon discovered that even small acts of kindness can mend a wounded spirit. Many residents organized little gatherings where they shared and celebrated stories of hope and redemption. At these events, warm words and smiles were exchanged as everyone remembered that day of change. The sound of music and laughter filled the air during celebrations that retold the powerful tale. Even the town's oldest citizens joined in, finding comfort in the reminder that every moment can be a fresh start. The local library proudly added a book about the journey to ensure that future generations would learn the lesson. A colorful mural was painted on the town hall wall, showing the auction hall, the limping horse, and the brave teen. The bright colors of the mural reminded everyone of the beauty that can be found in every struggle. Inspired by the story, community leaders started new programs to help care for injured animals. Volunteers soon visited local shelters to offer support, spreading acts of kindness throughout the region. What was once a memory of rejection at an auction hall had been transformed into a heartwarming tale of renewal. Every person came to see that compassion had the power to heal even the deepest wounds. The town decided to hold an annual celebration to honor all acts of bravery and care. At the celebration, the young rider often spoke about the day he chose to stand for what was right. His clear, simple words encouraged others to follow his example and support those in need. Listeners were deeply moved by the honest and hopeful messages in his speeches. The community gradually changed, guided by the simple truth that every life is valuable. Even neighboring towns began to adopt similar practices after hearing about their shining example. Local animal shelters experienced an outpouring of care and support, motivated by the legacy of that day. Town officials introduced new rules designed to protect every creature and ensure fair treatment for all. Each policy was made with the spirit of compassion at its very core. Residents celebrated every small victory that reminded them of that unforgettable auction day. Every act of care echoed the lasting message that each life matters and deserves respect. The harsh memories of past judgments faded away, replaced by the warmth of a united, kind community. The tale of the rejected horse became a guide for future actions and a beacon of hope in troubled times. Parents told their children that no one should ever be left behind or forgotten. Community gatherings turned into spaces where differences were celebrated and everyone supported one another. The town's atmosphere was always filled with gentle smiles, quiet acts of kindness, and thankful hearts. Each day brought a fresh opportunity to live by the lessons learned on that transformative day. Over time, the legacy of hope and the power of second chances continued to grow stronger in every heart. In the end, the story of the rejected horse and the determined teenager proved that love and compassion can change the world.